Well, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to all of our Market Master International affiliates. It is the top of the month of March, the first of the month of March, and we're getting out of this nasty winter here in the blistery cold of Ottawa, Canada. But I'm sure there's a lot of you all over the world, and you're not experiencing the same weather I'm experiencing. So kudos to you. But one day, we will be having some wonderful weather here as well. But I'm looking forward to that real soon. Hey, look, this is our market update call. We have this once a month. We have LIvio Nespoli with us, the founder of Interanalyst. And as you know, he's always makes himself available to all the members, all the subscribers of Market Masters International to ensure that your finger is on the pulse of what is happening. And he constantly gives us some incredible updates, which is the reason why you want to be checking your wealth preserver at least once a week, just in case you, in fact, are looking for some updates, even if you don't need to, because you're always looking at our monthly indicators. It's always a good idea, especially when the markets are a little bit on the crazy side right now. So it's always good because LIvio is always going to make sure that we have information that's pertinent to us, so that we're always on the right side of things at all times. So without further ado, I want to introduce to you LIvio Nespoli, founder of Interanalyst, and the individual that has got your back. That's the way I see it. And I'm so grateful and glad that I have an opportunity to be able to have this information available at my fingertips to be able to protect my family and my children's families for many years to come. So LIvio, let me turn the call back over to you, my friend.
Thank you very much for the wonderful intro, and I want to welcome everybody to the call. Tonight's call is going to be pretty important because we know out there that we've been watching the elections in the U.S., the cycle, and all the marketing and all the anti-Clinton and anti-Trump, and it's crazy, the emotions and the roller coaster ride they're taking you through. It's as I say all the time, these newscasting agencies, they're just, all they are, they create a sporting event. It's like being in a sporting event. The difficulty is when it comes to the market itself, and the questions that arise out of it is this manipulated? Are these politically manipulated to do something for a particular candidate or maybe against a particular candidate? And I have to say, yes, it is. There are times when it is politically motivated, advertising politically motivated messages, and they try to keep the markets up. They do it. It's been done over and over again historically. So the answer to it is yes. And so it's vitally important you don't get caught up emotionally in it, and you don't make a decision based on what's appearing to occur in a few days or maybe a couple week period of time. They might go against your better judgment if you do that, and you'll end up getting burned because the markets always seem to come back to what they should be eventually. So I want to kind of touch on what helped me write the newsletter this last month in regards to deflation. If you haven't received it, just go onto the sites, log in and grab it. There's 21 fresh numbers that point to expanding deflationary collapse, and that's both global and domestic. Okay, and I'm going to cover the first two here, and I'm going to open a couple links. I'm probably not going to open all the links, that would take forever for us, but I'm going to open a couple to give you some confirmation. Chinese exports fell by 11.2% year over year in January. 11%. You understand how much money that is? It's huge. Chinese imports were even worse in January. On a year over year basis, they declined a whopping 18.8%. And I'll just show you where the link links to so that you get an indication that I'm just not making this stuff up. This is CNBC. China exports fall 11.2%. January imports down 18.8%. So when I show you these links, it's incredible. That is just immense, billions and billions of dollars there. It's just crazy how bad things have gotten out there, and we're going to go through this. That's just reason 1 and 2 of the 21. Reason 3, it may be hard to believe, but Chinese well, hold on just a second. Let me hang on a second. There we go. Sorry about that. Here, China exports crashed both in 6 months despite the devalued yuan. Crazy. We've got more here. Hang on. Okay, let's go to the next one. In India, exports were down 13.6% on a year-over-year basis in January. We'll get to some U.S. ones in a few minutes, but you understand this is global, this deflation. It isn't just local or domestic to the U.S. or particular parts of the world. It's everywhere. Okay, let's go to the next one. In Japan, exports declined 8% in December on a year-over-year basis, while imports plummeted 18%. For the sixth time in 6 years, Japanese GDP growth has gone negative. 6 times, okay, in 6 years. GDP has gone negative. I'm going to pop this one up real quick to show you. It's crazy. You can see a chart here. And you see, look at this, negative GDP. It's getting worse, folks. It's not getting better. And so as you're out there and you're doing your reading and you're hearing all these positive things from newscasters, or this happened or that happened, believe me, these are the real things that are occurring in the background while they're not talking. They'll not tell you this. And they'll set you all up to come and confiscate your money in a flash. So you better be careful and follow the signals, okay? Follow the signals. Look, I'm going to be frank with you. They may not go your direction immediately. They may not go right away your direction. They may even go against you for a short period of time, but whether it's a day or a couple days or a week or two, doesn't matter. It's going to follow the trend of the arrow ultimately, okay? So follow those arrows and don't get worried. Stay calm. All right, in the United States, exports were down 7% on a year-over-year basis in December. U.S. factory orders have fallen for 14 consecutive months. 14. Factory orders, guys, that means there's no business going on, okay? They're losing business. Restaurant Performance Index in the United States has dropped to the lowest level that we have seen since 2008. These are the things that are happening while the preachers are on TV preaching the market, okay? These are the things that are happening. Eventually, the reality will catch up, the markets will recognize it, and those things will be adjusted to the proper levels. Okay, the Baltic Dry Index recently fell below 300 for the first time ever. About 3 months ago, maybe 4 months ago, I gave you an illustration of the Baltic Dry Goods Index. It is the index of trade around the world via ships. And those ships have to be running for trade to be occurring between countries, because that's how they traffic all that stuff around the world. Those huge tankers with all the goods from different parts of the world gets transported everywhere. It is now at its lowest level, okay? It's risen a little bit from the 300, but not much as of today. So it's continuing to stay extremely low, which means there's not a lot of business going on, okay? There's not a lot of business, which is not good for the markets. It is now cheaper. This was incredible when I found this. It's now cheaper to rent a 1,100-foot merchant vessel to ship your goods in than it is to rent a Ferrari. Think of that. You can rent a Ferrari cheaper than you can a 1,100-foot boat. It's crazy. That's how bad it's gotten out there. 12th reason for expanding deflationary collapse here. Orders for Class 8 trucks in the United States has dropped by 48% on a year-over-year basis in January. Think of that. These are the trucks that move things around the country. 48% drop. Due to lack of demand for trucks, Daimler just laid off 1,250 U.S. workers. Happened last month. 14th reason there's a deflationary collapse occurring. Even though Saudi Arabia and Russia have agreed to freeze oil production at current levels, the price of oil has still fallen below $40 a barrel. It actually got below 30, then climbed a little bit, but we look for it to continue to decline shortly again. 15, it is being reported that 35% of all oil and gas companies around the world are at risk of falling into bankruptcy now. 35%. According to CNN, 67 oil and gas companies in the United States filed for bankruptcy during 2015. 67. That's quite a bit. The number of job cuts in the United States skyrocketed 218% during the month of January according to CNN. Take a look at this. Right here. Job cuts soar 218% in January. Amazing. They didn't report that to you, did they? No, of course not. They're not going to tell you what's really going on. That's for insiders. Anybody on this call? Welcome to the Insiders Club. 18. Number 18 of 21 reasons for expanding deflationary collapse. All over America, retail stores are shutting down at a stunning pace. Walmart closing 269 stores, including the 154 inside the United States. Kmart is closing down more than 24 stores over the next several months. JCPenney will permanently is permanently shutting down 47 more stores after closing a total of 40 stores in 2015. Macy's has decided that it needs to shutter 36 stores and lay off approximately 2,500 employees. The Gap is in the process of closing 175 stores in North America. Aeropostale is in the process of closing 84 stores all across America. Finish Line has announced that 150 stores will be shutting down over the next few years. Sears has shut down about 600 stores over the past year or so, but sales at the stores that remain open continue to fall precipitously. I want to make a point here. You could tell here by what I've just read, those are retail consumer stores. What does that tell you the consumers are doing? They're conserving. They're saving their money. They're not spending their money, okay? When that occurs, that means the public is starting to say, wait a second, there's something wrong here. I need to save my money. If I have any left from taxes, if I have any left, my insurance costs, everything costs a little bit more as insurance, but everything seems to be going down. Why? Nobody's spending money. They sense it. There's something wrong out there, okay? 19, global stocks have fallen to bear market territory, which means that about 1/5 of all global stock market wealth has already been wiped out. Another 2/3 might be going. 20, unfortunately for global central banks, they have pretty much run out of ammunition. Since March of 2008, central banks have cut interest rates 637 times around the world. They've purchased a staggering $12.3 trillion worth of assets. They do that to act as they're spending money and appreciating the economy and moving the economy up. But that's not how the economy grows. It grows through the public, business, and expansion of business. And the global banking system and tax system of these countries, okay, is deflationary. It is anti-spending. It is more socialistic. Higher taxes. When you do that, you take complete motivation out from people. They don't spend their money, and they start to have a crisis that is causing deflation. Okay, and that's where we're at. So there is not much more that they can do. They basically have run out of their ammunition. And so what's happened recently, and what's happened in Europe and everything, is the money has been coming to the United States. So it's the short-term pop here is a little bit more money coming into the United States. Ultimately, when that money can't find a home, and in the United States is starting to enter the same cycle these other countries are, we saw that start in August of last year, continue till now. Since August and in January of last year, we're down. We may be up short-term here the last few weeks, or week or two, whatever, but in the long run, it's going to continue down, because that's what's happening. You could tell that there's a crisis of confidence in the government, because recently, and this will be short-lived as well, we've seen the price of gold enjoying its best quarterly performance in 30 years. And the reason is gold really rises when there's not inflation. Inflation and gold, we'll have to do a webinar one time for you. Inflation and gold don't correlate. What correlates with gold is the collapse of confidence in government. And that's what you're starting to see a little bit of. We believe that there will be another rise in confidence for a short period of time shortly, and gold will continue its move down. Just follow the charts on your gold, and you'll be successful. Now, these two are some scary charts. In fact, I think these next two slides are the scariest thing you'll ever see. As you can see in the chart below, profit margins have averaged about 6.5% over the last 65 years. And every time they've gotten well above 6.5% range, they come back to earth and they go to below 6. Well, take a look where it's at. That's about a 4. That's almost a 50% decline, okay? Just to get back to where they bounce down below that red line, okay? That's 65 years. It happens every single time. Put it in your pocket, it's going to happen. Okay, period. It's just going to happen. That is fully supported by the 21 reasons we just read through. And then this, chart number 2. We've talked about this at previous monthly webinars. As you can see the chart below, every time the PE ratio has gotten well above 20, they've always come down to below 10. Whoops, there's a spelling error. Before starting a true sustained rising stock market. We're at 25. So in order for it to get below 10, it has to decline 65%. We've got a ways to go. We've got a ways to go to get back to normal levels. We've got a ways to go for deflation to finish its decline. We've got a ways to go for just simple profit margins to come back into reality. These don't pretend a bright future for the next 6, 8, 12 months to 2 years. Okay, maybe a little bit longer. Can these markets go against the trend? Can they continue to go up for the very short term, you know, a month, a couple of weeks, a month, 2 months at the most? Of course they can. But I want to reiterate something, and I want you to remember this. Here's a deflationary question, and think of these things. Let's say you own a business producing a product called Zoom. What if your production costs included $80 a barrel of oil? And what if your competition used paid $40 per barrel of oil for the same product? Now their product is on the shelf and your product is on the shelf. Can your product be priced at the same price as the one that was produced after? No, right? It has to come down in price. That's deflation. That's deflation. So companies get killed. Now, when everybody's doing it, and it just keeps going from people were talking about the price of oil, oh, it's so good. Well, here's an example of why declining oil prices is not good. Because you've got products that are sitting on the shelf like clothes. Okay, they all need oil. Everything needs oil that sits on the shelf. What about the products that go to your grocery store and sit on the shelves? Things that can last on their shelves, not like fresh goods, but things that can last. They cost more on the shelf because they were delivered a month and a half, 2 months ago when the price of oil was more expensive. So delivered to the store, it sits there. Nobody wants it. They can't pay that price. They lose money. The company loses money. It doesn't work. That's deflation. Deflation is always more devastating to an economy than inflation, okay? Just don't ever forget that. So what we are going to see and what we are seeing is a rapid expanding deflationary crisis. Okay, add to that the fact that you have migrants all over Europe coming into Europe. Add to that we have issues here in the United States of migrants. Add to that we have healthcare issues that are all around the world. Okay, these things aren't just domestic; they're global, as we just showed you on those 21 points. These problems aren't in any particular area; they are everywhere. Very, very, very serious issues coming before us. So be careful when you're out there. Follow the signals. You never know when that one thing happens, that little one, you know, whatever it is out there that turns everything off and the markets just collapse. When markets collapse, they go quick, as we've seen here late last year and at the beginning of this year. They can go quick, and they take a lot less time going down than they do going up. Okay, so be very careful. Be attentive. Pay attention, check in, check to the updates, the market updates. You know, Ron a few minutes ago says check once a week. I'm going to tell you, the more we get into this, I'm going to be writing more. About a week and a half ago, I think I wrote 3 market updates in a week. Be sure to check in, okay, and look at it. These things can occur quickly, and they can be devastating. So be patient with your trades. If any of you are out there and you're short, in the markets because we did have a red signal. Those types of trades are much more aggressive because you don't have to be in very long. You can see quickly if the market goes against you, you can have a little trade. But if you're patient enough and you don't look at it, you don't get emotional, stay with it. Those of you who like to stay in these types of trades, you don't want to go short, just stay in cash, stay there. I want to give you an illustration of why you want to stay in the cash if we're in a red bull, in a red arrow position. Because in deflation, your money you make interest on your money just sitting in cash. You're looking at the example right in front of your eyes. If you'd have had $100, or we'll just use $80 right in front of you, you could have bought a barrel of oil a year ago. And if you didn't buy that today, you could buy 2 barrels. Wait a second, you were in cash for a year and now you can buy twice as much? That's deflation. When prices drop and you have cash in hand, you're sitting in cash, you come back later, you can buy more. Okay? What did that happen? You just made over 1 year, you just made 100% on your money and it was just cash in your hand. In deflationary markets, cash is king. In inflationary markets, leverage is king. In other words, when you buy a house that's going up in value, when you get a mortgage and your house goes up, it goes up greater than the value of the interest rate, you're making money. But if you buy a house on interest and it goes down in value, you're getting killed. Okay? So this is the perfect example here, the $80 and the $40 barrel, to give you an idea of how you make money with deflation. So don't ever fear being in cash for a while. It's okay. Okay? Just in the oil side, you'd have doubled your money in about a year. So think about those things when you're doing this. A lot of these things are new concepts, I know, but that's what I'm here for, to help guide you the rest of the way. Okay, Ron, I thank you for the time.
Thank you, Livio. You know, I'm going to send you my medical bill because as I was watching your presentation, my jaw dropped so hard, I think I got stitches on my chin. I'm not kidding. I didn't see your presentation. You did share with me that it was pretty powerful, and I would have to say that that was one of the more powerful presentations I've ever seen, to get a clear vision of what's really happening. And, you know, for all the affiliates that are on the call here today, this is obviously a very special part of your membership. You have an ability to really truly see what the truth is. Livio comes out and tells us what's going on. And, you know, for $49 a month, if you think about it, you've got a product that's going to protect your wealth. You've got a product that's going to help you grow your wealth. You've got Livio here who's going to tell you what's really going on in the world. And that's why I said at the beginning of the call, I'm so grateful, because I truly believe that, you know, Interanalyst and MMI working together, we've got your back. And that's so incredibly important. It certainly is to me. And my children's back. You know, they now have access to this information and they'll be able to prepare themselves for the future. And so all I can say is this is happening right now, and I couldn't think of a more urgent time to be able to get this information out to people. You may even want to share some of this presentation to some people as well, so that they can clearly see the value that they're getting. It actually blows my mind, to be totally honest with you, what we really do offer people in reference to preparing themselves, because you just can't get this stuff anywhere else. So, you know, Livio, I want to thank you so much for everything that you do, the time that you take to prepare and present this information for us. You always give us timely information, accurate information, so that we can make the best decisions for ourselves. And I know I can speak for everybody, all our affiliates all around the world, all our customers around the world, that we truly greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Livio.
Thank you.
And thank you, everyone else. And have yourself a wonderful, wonderful week. Wonderful in the United States, a Super Tuesday that should be very interesting to read about tonight and tomorrow. And of course, we have our update call on Thursday night with Joel Putland, our CEO and co-founder. All right, folks, thank you so much. And God bless and take care.